The man who lives behind my walls. It started with small things. At first I thought I was just imagining it. Lights turned off that I could have sworn I left on, a picture crooked on the wall, and even my shoes moved slightly from where I'd left them. I convinced myself it was nothing, but that all changed the night I heard it. It was around 3 a.m., and I had just finished reading in bed. I turned off the lamp and tried to fall asleep, but there was a strange tension in the air, the kind of silence that felt too heavy. I told myself it was nothing, but then I heard it, a soft rhythmic tapping. Tap, tap, tap. It was coming from the wall behind my bed. I froze. At first I thought it was just the house settling, but this was different. The sound was too intentional, too regular. I grabbed my flashlight and shone it on the wall, expecting to find a rat or some other animal inside the walls. But there was nothing. The tapping continued, steady and unnerving. I tried to ignore it, but it grew louder as the night wore on. It wasn't the house settling, it was something else, something that made my skin crawl. The tapping didn't stop until exhaustion overtook me, and I fell asleep, the sound still echoing in my mind. The next day I checked the wall. No holes, no damage. I called my landlord, who assured me it was probably just the pipes or the heating system. But I didn't buy it. The sound felt too deliberate, like someone was trying to get my attention. Over the next few nights, the tapping came and went. Sometimes it was faint, other times it was loud enough to rattle my bones. I pressed my ear against the wall, hoping for some explanation, but every time I did, the tapping would stop. One afternoon, my elderly neighbor, Mrs. Bradley, came over, her face pale and full of fear. "You've heard it, haven't you?" she asked, voice trembling. "The tapping? Something's behind the walls. I think it's alive." Her words sent a chill down my spine. I had never told her about the tapping, and the fact that she knew about it confirmed my worst fears. Whatever was in the walls, I wasn't the only one who heard it. That night, I couldn't stand it any longer. I grabbed a hammer and began tearing into the wall behind my bed. My heart pounded as I removed pieces of drywall, revealing the hollow space behind it. For a moment, I thought it was empty. But then I saw something, a pale, skeletal hand, stretching out toward me from behind the insulation. I recoiled, nearly dropping the hammer. I couldn't move. My mind was racing, trying to understand what I was seeing. Then I heard it again. The tapping. This time it wasn't coming from behind the wall. It was inside the room. The sound was closer, louder, more frantic. I turned slowly, and there, standing in the doorway, was a figure. It was impossibly tall, unnaturally thin, its arms hanging loosely at its sides. But the most disturbing thing about it was its face, or rather the lack of one. There was nothing where its face should have been. Just smooth, pale skin, empty, featureless. No eyes, no mouth, nothing. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't scream. I just stood there, frozen, staring at the figure in front of me. I don't know how long it stood there, but it felt like hours. Then, without warning, the figure reached out a long, bony finger and pointed directly at me. I ran. I don't know how I found the strength to move, but I bolted out of the room, down the stairs and out the front door. My heart raced as I stumbled into the street, looking back over my shoulder. I didn't stop running until I reached the nearest gas station. I called the police, but when they arrived, there was no sign of anything. No hole in the wall, no figure, no tapping. They told me I was probably just stressed, that I had imagined it. But I know what I saw. The next day I moved out. I couldn't stay there anymore. I still don't know what that thing was, or why it was in my walls. Every night since then, I can hear the faint tapping in my mind. It's like it's still trying to get my attention. Still watching me, waiting. If you ever hear tapping in your walls, don't investigate it. Don't try to find out what it is, because once you do, it might just find you first.